Hello, and let's finally meet Captain Quantum.
Is that a
What?
bucket on his head?
Yes, it is a bucket on his head.
Okay.
Okay.
They think he's a robot.
Oh, he's pretending to be a robot. Okay, I see what it
Yes.
is.
He. Now I'm just picturing this guy like infiltrating the Death Star, pretending to be a gonk droid, and people buying it.
Aren't you a little tall for a gonk droid? Oh, he looks like a Smash Brothers recolor or a Sonic recolor from 2006.
I get it. One's green and the other's red. Traffic lights.
Gasp! He has the captain's head.
Wait, is he red or is he orange? I can't tell in this lighting.
They're idiots.
They are idiots.
Can't believe they programmed this guy to be stupid.
Who creates fucking robot pirates anyway?
Well, when a mommy robot pirate and a daddy robot pirate love each other very much,
Okay, but who built the mommy and daddy robot pirates?
their mommy and daddy robot pirates love them very much. You're asking about a chicken and an egg question here, Lewis.
No,
That I
I'm
don't know the
asking who
answer.
built the fucking robots. Okay.
Insomniac Studios.
Okay.
So, yeah, we now have to make our daring escape from the robot pirates who think we murdered their captain.
So, pirates in these kind of games. What do we all think of them?
I mean, pirates are fun. I feel like pirates are kind of like cowboys in the sense that, like, they're kind of. What's the way to put that? They're kind of just hard to take seriously anymore. Which is not a problem in this instance because they're not meant to be taken seriously. But like, there's a lot of like, there's not really a lot of pirate movies anymore or a lot of westerns anymore, and you know that makes Hollywood extremely upset because whenever there's anything that even kind of resembles a western that comes out, all of the old film people are like, "Are the westerns coming back? Is it time for the no?" No, the westerns have been dead for 30 years. Stop asking for more westerns.
We're sorry. We're sorry you're old and grew up in the 50s and 60s. They're
I,
not
f-
popular anymore.
I feel like yeah, that's one of those film genres that's just
Also,
there's
John Wayne was a huge piece of shit. Stop, grandizing about him.
Oh, John Wayne sucks. Fuck him.
I don't
Fuck
know the
John Wayne.
first thing about that guy, so I'm gonna
He
just
was in
remain
like
silent.
he was
Well, I mean, I
in like
know the name, but I don't know the first thing about him because I've never been interested.
he's just
Um,
if you just look up his history, he's just an asshole. And that's the
oh,
short.
you
That's
know,
the it's not even like there's like some interesting stuff or like some like like psychologically intriguing stuff. Like for
No,
example,
he's just a racist asshole.
yeah, like Alfred Hitchcock, for example. Great director, huge piece of shit, and there's a lot of there's like a it's interesting because you can see how his personality shaped the movies, and it makes watching the movies different, and so it's like interesting in a like film theory and study sort of way. But with John Wayne, he's just like the boring kind of bad person, you know.
oh, I get you.
So there's just like not a lot to say about him really. He's just a dick. Um,
Okay,
yeah. So yeah. Screw John Wayne.
you know, though I feel like if I actually like stopped watching, reading, and or playing stuff based on what kind of person the creatives behind it were, or
Oh,
the
you
actors
couldn't.
behind it. Where I couldn't watch fucking anything
No, you
because
can't.
there's always going to be some horrible person involved in anything.
Yeah, that you can't. Basically, there's no way to like. Do you know how many people work on a typical movie or game or TV show or anything? Like, if you didn't consume media because you didn't like one of the people who were working on it.
Well, it's not even a matter of doesn't of not liking them. Some people, myself included to a certain extent, feel an obligation to not support people who do or push bad things, just in general. Like you like for to go for the absolute low hanging fruit, you would be absolutely reasonable to suggest that maybe people shouldn't watch, read, or otherwise consume anything related to Rurouni Kenshin.
What did the
You know,
Rurouni Kenshin author do? Because I'm actually
Child
not-
porn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That. Yeah.
I said it was low.
I don't think he made anybody
He,
did.
did, he didn't.
That,
He
so.
didn't. He didn't. He didn't make any. He was found in possession of it and admitted to buying it. I think he admitted to
Yeah.
buying it. It's been a while since I read the news related to that. I think at this point he's done his time. So
Yeah.
over and done
That's.
with.
I mean, that's a different and a lot more complicated question.
Yeah. I said it was low hanging fruit. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone would agree that that person is bad. We wouldn't have any political disagreements over that. So yeah. But like, at the same time, not everyone is going to agree that because the creative is bad that they just shouldn't touch the created material. It's a little hard to definitively say that about anything.
Yeah, and it gets much more. It gets much more complicated when we're dealing with something like a movie or a game versus let's say let's take the easiest example and talk about a book. If the author of a certain book is a piece of shit, then choosing not to buy that book is pretty easy. Like, if you don't like that person, you can choose not to buy the book, like that makes sense. Like, if you don't like J.K. Rowling, then you can not buy the Harry Potter books. That's like, that makes sense. But
Okay.
then that extends to, like, there's also the Harry Potter video game that's coming out and the movies and the million other Harry Potter things. It's like a lot of people ask, can you consume that even if you dislike J.K. Rowling as a person or politically? And I don't know if I can answer that question because I'm just a dumb internet haha funny person.
Let's
that's
take
not
that logic
funny.
and apply it to something that's very much multimedia at this point. James Bond.
Oh yeah, because there's like a lot of hashtag problematic things about, especially some of the old James Bond stuff. Which,
I mean,
like,
if something was made in the past, then it's just kind of like, okay, you're just kind of gonna have to deal with that. Doesn't make it right, but
the original James Bond author was about as blatantly shitty about certain things as, say, H.P. Lovecraft was. So, it's not even subtle if you read the stuff.
neither is H.P. Lovecraft.
Well, yeah, that's why I brought him up.
Yeah.
But, like, at the same time, Lovecraftian stuff comes up in all kinds of media, both directly related to H.P. Lovecraft and derivative, like something like Bloodborne, for example.
And, I mean, the best part about Bloodborne is that it basically just gives a giant middle finger to H.P. Lovecraft by making all the problems caused by a bunch of racist British guys.
Oh wait, really? That's amazing! Oh my god.
Yeah, basically one of the big reasons why the entire area is in ruins is basically because these shitty British, these posh British kind of guys were trying to like solve the problems of like all these Cthulhu-ish monsters and how to, I guess, ascend in a way, but it's just kind of like all their reasoning was just fucking stupid.
So they were
And they
trying.
kept fucking it all up.
They were trying to solve the problem of giant Cthulhu monsters by joining the ranks of giant Cthulhu monsters.
You know,
Okay,
I get the
sure.
feeling that you could come up with 3 or 4 different interpretations of that plot purely because it's a Souls derivative game. Souls derivative?
Yeah.
Souls adjacent is what I meant to say.
Isn't Bloodborne one of the more like story-ish ones though that has a more like active plot? Or am I just not? I don't know anything
I
about these games.
don't know so much about active plot. It might have more in terms of cutscenage, but it begins and generally runs about as vague as anything else.
Also, I love this bit. Oh, Captain Quark's a hero, even though he betrayed us, locked us up, made our lives worse in every way possible. Oh, he said something nice about Quark.
He never stops trying. Aw, man. Hey, a pleasure to have in class.
Man, Captain Quantum is like really deliberately a lot tougher looking than Quark.
He seems like a genuinely nice guy.
His face is very emotive.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's gonna sacrifice himself to save us.
Yep.
Oh, you're right about him not being on screen for long, though. Like, he had, like, maybe 3 minutes of screen time total.
You know, I get the feeling that we're going to find out where he ended up at some point.
Oh. Okay, that's really funny. The, like, getting stuck in the bucket and then using the wrench to paddle your way back to shore. Like, that's a really clever visual gag. I always appreciate in these kinds of games, whenever, especially ones with a reputation for crass and lowbrow humor. I know that Ratchet isn't like necessarily like that all the time, but when you title your game Up Your Arsenal, you know, it's you at least want people to make that assumption. So when you do like small clever stuff like that, it always just makes me smile. Like, that's not something I would ever have thought of, but it's just, I don't know. I imagine that somebody in the writing room was just like, oh, well, how does Ratchet get back to shore? I don't know. He used his wrench as a paddle. Oh, that's good. Put that in the game. Like, I don't know. I like imagining how that kind of stuff gets into the game, and it just makes me imagine a workplace where people enjoy being with their coworkers and working on a thing they have like hopes and dreams for. Nah, that sounds stupid.
Backpedaling to your phrasing there, though, crass and lowbrow humor. I do wanna bring up that like crass humor and lowbrow humor aren't necessarily the same thing. They're
That's
often
true, yeah.
treated as the same thing, but you can be clever with your crassness, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what Ratchet does a lot of the time.
Yeah, you can make, anybody can make a poop joke, but can you make a sophisticated poop joke? Yeah, you see, taps forehead like I'm smart.
Always remember, poop.
Poop.
Well, it's not so much about being sophisticated so much as being layered and somewhat cerebral, which is the difference between like some of the humor in the original Ghostbusters movie and, well, some of the humor in the newer Ghostbusters movies.
Sometimes it's also just okay. All right. Sometimes it's also just delivery. Like, because one thing I can think of is like in the first Jurassic Park movie where Jeff Goldblum is just like, that's a big pile of shit. Like, it's just funny how he says it, you know?
I like how Dr. Nefarious actually has a point there.
What was his point?
Basically, Emperor's like, oh, that's it? Why don't I feel better about actually winning? And it's like, well, you equated life to success, and now that you have it, you don't have any purpose anymore.
Oh.
So yeah, Emperor Nefarious is like, nope, not enough, gonna conquer all other dimensions.
Wait, what? What, road tripping? What?
Map? What kind? No. Looking up directions, boo. Boo, sir, I say.
But yeah, it's basically it's just a metaphor for we're going to go to other dimensions and conquer them too because I have nothing better to do now that I've conquered this one.
Well, like, they're literally going after a map, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is there a dimensional map? Who could possibly need a dimensional map? Who made it in the first place?
The Lombaxes.
Of course, it was the fucking Lombaxes.
I'm trying to, yeah, so there's a famous quote from about Alexander the Great who says something to the effect of when he saw how big his empire had gotten, he wept because he ran out of stuff to conquer. It's something like that, but old sounding, so it sounds fancy. I don't know where it's from or even if it's a real quote, but it sounds like kind of that instance, except Dr. Nefarious is just like, okay, but then I'm going to just make up more places to conquer. There we go. Ha, screw you.
Except in this instance, there are more places to conquer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.